Assalamu alaikum viewers. I welcome you all on the behalf of Experience Exchange with this brand new episode in which we have another very interesting and important topic to discover. Yes, it is socialism. Today we will talk about the basics of socialism, the history related to socialism, and what are the theories from different philosophers and the historians about the socialism and the things related to socialism and the ground realities about the socialism. So let's deep dive in the discussion without wastage of time. So first of all, we will discover that what actually the ideology of socialism is. Literally speaking, the word socialism is derived from words like social interest and society. Its core philosophy is society. While capitalism is based on competition, socialism is based on social justice. But if I try to define socialism in most basic way, like we did with communism and capitalism, you can find these videos with the link in the description below. In a similar sense, the definition of socialism will be that every person will work according to his ability and they will get the benefits according to their contribution. Based on communism's definition, people get the thing based on their needs, but in socialism, the one working harder will get more. The oldest examples of implementation of socialism can be said to be the kings and emperors. That didn't work for the self-interest, the kings who worked for their subjects. Several centuries later in Europe, industrial revolution took root. And as I told you in the videos of communism and capitalism, the workers are treated pathetically during the industrial revolution. Children as young as 10 years are made to work in factories in terrible conditions, and most of the profits from there went into the hands of the factory owners, leading to the rapid rise in income inequality, and monopolies start to form. To counter all these problems, different people suggested different solutions. Karl Marx suggested communism. On the other hand, philosophers like Thomas Paine said that the landowners should be paying the real estate tax and inheritance tax, and the tax that is collected could be used to give pensions to the workers, disability pensions and allowances. There were some other philosophers with ideas and solutions much more radical. They believed that there couldn't be any private property, but private property they didn't mean you can't have your own phone or books. These are personal possessions. So there is a major difference between personal property and private property. By private property they meant immovable assets like lands and buildings. No person should own land or any building. They related this thing with the mountains, oceans, rivers and jungles. No person own these. These are meant for everyone. That's why they believe that land is something that shouldn't be sold to any private individual. There were famous socialists who believed that socialism is not an ideology that is against rich people, rather they practiced non-violence. Their purpose was to educate the rich, to teach them moral values, for them to realize that if they give up their means of production, not only it will benefit the world, but they would themselves to be happy doing it. This socialist ideology is named as utopian socialism. A contrast to this ideology is revolutionary socialism. Everyone will get everything according to their needs. What would people do with the excess when there wouldn't be any private property to buy? Some people said that everyone is selfish in this world, so greedy, so how can communism be possible? It's not that Karl Marx lived in the golden age. Neither did Karl Marx think that every individual is a saint. Rather, Karl Marx protested utopian socialism because people aren't so straightforward. That's why he believed a revolution was needed. He believed that the ideology of the dominant class in the society becomes the ideology of the common people in that society. Based on the material conditions, people's opinion are shaped. That's why it's selfish, greedy, ambitious capitalist people are in power than because of the existing culture. Then the common people will also consider selfishness, greed, aggressive competition to be something natural. That's why communism cannot be introduced directly, in his opinion. An intermediate stage would be needed for it. Karl Marx called this stage socialism, and socialism's definition became to each as per his contribution. A vanguard party of the worker will abolish the rule of the capitalist and take control of means of production, which commodity would be produced and in what quantity. The economic planning will be based on the needs of the society. Everyone will work and the earnings will be based on the work. More work equal to more earnings and vice versa. In his opinion, it will eliminate all the cutthroat competition and the people wouldn't be scared of starving to death or of dying because of sickness. There will be free education. Everyone will get basic amenities. In all this, the selfish and greedy mindset propagated by the capitalist class will be slowly die out according to him. He believed that doing so will bring morality among the masses and it will be followed by withering away of the state, meaning that everything will be streamlined. The idea of government will slowly fade away and the sharing model of communism will be possible. Based on this theory of Karl Marx, the intermediate stage of socialism was introduced in the countries like USSR, the Soviet Union, but this communism did not come. Here he had more significant miscalculation. To summarize, you can basically say that then it is small number of large enterprises in capitalism, where in socialism there is large number of small enterprises. Now we are going to discuss essential features of socialism. That what are the essential features of socialism? In a purely socialist system, all production and distribution decisions are made by the collective, directed by central planner or government body. Worker cooperatives, however, are also a form of socialized production. Socialism systems tend to have robust welfare systems and social society nets so that individuals rely on the state for everything from food to healthcare. The government determines the output and pricing levels of these goods and services. Socialists contended that shared ownership of resources and central planning provide a more equal distribution of goods and services and a more equitable society. Now we are going to talk about the key takeaways after socialism. Socialism is an economic and political system based on collective ownership of the means of production. All legal production and distribution decisions are made by the government in socialist system. The government also determines all output and pricing levels and supplies its citizens with everything from food to healthcare. Proponents of socialism believe that it leads to a more equal society distribution of goods and services and more equitable society. Socialist idea include production for use rather than for profit, an equitable distribution of wealth and material resources among all the people, no more competitive buying and selling in the market, and free access to goods and services. Now we are going to talk about the conclusion, that what actually we can conclude from this socialism. Socialism is broadly speaking a political and economic system in which property and the means of production are owned in common, typically controlled by the state or government. Those means of production include the machinery, tools, and factories used to produce goods that aim to directly satisfy human needs. Socialism is based on that idea that the common or public ownership of resources and means of production lead to a more equal society. I hope that you have understand a lot of new information about socialism and you could make a difference between communism, socialism and capitalism. I had tried to make this video a very useful and collection of insightful history about the socialism and how it propagates and how it is going on. So that's all from today's video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel for new and informative content like this. Up till next time, stay tuned and updated with experience exchange and take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.